Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sulaiman Dawood Al-Jirbi, and today in my presentation I will talk about how does an electric generator work. The contents. My presentation involves the following point: a common misunderstanding about the electric generators, and what is the induction principle, the inventor of the electric generator, and the relationship between the electric generator and the mechanical energy, example of how mechanical energy can be used to produce electricity, and how does an electric generator work, and finally we will discuss example of where these generators are commonly used. A common misunderstanding about electric generators. There is a lot of confusion when it comes to how these electric generators work. Some people think that these electric generators produce electricity out of nothing. Well, this is incorrect, because there is no generator in the world that can produce electricity out of nothing. The electric generator uses the electromagnetic induction principle in order to produce electricity. And for this, these generators use wires, engines, and magnets. First of all, we need to understand what is the induction principle. Before we understand how this generator works, we need to understand what is the induction principle first. The induction principle is the idea. It says that we can produce electrical energy by moving a magnet inside a group of wires. In the picture here, we can see the man here producing electricity by moving a magnet next to a wire. And this idea is the most important idea in electric generators, because this idea used to produce electricity in generators, because the electric generator uses the magnetic field in order to produce an electrical current. The inventor of the electrical engine. Well, the inventor of the electrical engine is a scientist called Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday, while he was working in his lab, he discovered something very important. When he moved a magnet next to a group of wires, he noticed that an electrical current began moving in these wires. So he started wondering about how he could use this thing in order to produce electricity. And this is how the electric generator was produced. The relationship between the electric generator and the mechanical energy. There is a strong relationship between the electrical generator and the mechanical energy, because the mechanical energy is used in order to produce electricity in the electrical engine. And for this, we need to produce a practical amount of electricity to be used in our daily life. We need a consistent and a strong force which is able to rotate the wires inside the electrical generator. And this power comes from the mechanical energy. The mechanical energy produces the rotation speed that is fast enough in order to produce a strong electrical current. Examples of mechanical energy sources that are used to produce electricity. There are many examples. The most important ones are the wind farms and the hydroelectric dam. These two things are use the environment power and convert it into mechanical power. And this mechanical power is very important because it is used in order to produce electricity in the electric generator. Parts of the generator. The electric generator consists of many parts, and these parts are working together in order to produce electricity. It consists of the rotation shaft here, and the stator here, and the electromagnetic which is here called the armature, and it is inside the generator, in the middle of the generator. We also have the commutator here, which is made of copper. We have the brush assembly, we have the bearings, and finally we have the frame. And now we will talk about how this generator works. How does an electric generator work? Well, first of all, this rotating shaft must be connected to a wind or water engine. This wind or water engine will rotate this shaft fast enough. So the armature here, which is an electromagnet, will be spent because of the shaft. The armature is placed inside a stator. The stator is a stationary magnet, is a stationary magnetic field that is used to produce a magnetic current. So when this armature rotates inside the magnetic current that is produced by the stator, it will produce an electromagnetic induction. So when the electromagnetic induction is produced, an electricity will be produced. After that, the electricity will be transmitted into a commutator. The commutator here is made of copper, so it can conduct electricity to the electrical equipment that we use in our everyday life. And this is how the electric generator works. But there are a lot of other parts in the generator that have very important role. For example, the brush assembly here is used to rubs against the commutator from sending the electricity out of the engine, because the commutator here is sending the electricity out of the engine. So the brush assembly rubs against the commutator from sending the electricity out. And we here have the bearings, which is used to reduce the friction caused by the rotation. And finally here we have the frame outside the engine. The frame is used to protect and shield the generator from dirt and from moisture from getting inside. Examples of where these generators are used. These generators are used in many fields, and the most important fields are, first, the constructions. The constructions equipment such as drills, grinders, and water pumps, all of these equipments must be provided with electricity in order to be able to use them. And miners work in places that are generally dark, so these generators are very important to them to make them see their way while they are working. Agriculture and ranching. Agriculture uses water pumps, and this water pumps is used to plant the trees and the plants on the farm. So these water pumps must be provided with electricity. And we have night working. A ward maintenance crew is an example of people who must be able to work at night. So these generators provide them with the lighting they need in order to see their world at night. Finally, we have the fairs and carnivals. The fairs and carnivals have many fun devices, and these devices must be provided with electricity in order to be able to use them. So it is the electric generator is also used in fairs and carnivals. Thank you for your listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.